Good evening, folks. This is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Big Girl Storm, welcome. Late Freight Trucker, good to have you with us. Everybody coming in here. Michael, hello. Good evening, everybody. Eddie Ray Kramer. We're just getting started. Marie Moonborn, that's interesting. Marie Moonborn, thanks for joining us here on Encounters. Anna, welcome to Encounters. Rabbit7777. Larry, welcome to Encounters. All the new people coming in here. Just catching all the new names for the late night. Penn, welcome to our show. And Blondie, welcome to Encounters. Lulu, that's a good name. Anna, welcome. Thanks for the like. Sarah Newton, you're on Encounters. Anchor Ann, good to have you with us again. Crazy Lou 7, thanks for being here. Enlightened Jess, hey, that's a good name. Enlightened Jess. Francie, good to have everybody with us coming in here. World needs more love. Good to have you with us again. Everybody coming in here. This is the late night show. Sarah Webb 213. Good to have you all with us. Judy Bowman, Mama Bear, Just Laura Lee, user 4666. MC, welcome to the show. Meriwether, hope you're doing well. Jack Sherhoff, Sarah Webb, thanks for the likes. Everybody, M or Min Apollo or Southern Mom Man or whatever. Sarah Webb, thanks for the likes. D. Gallo, Lizzie, welcome to the show. These names go so fast, I'm trying to catch up to them. Her Organics, always good to see you. This is Encounters, the late night talk show. This is the talk show, the number one talk show on social media. If you're not here, you're square. You got to be here. You know, this is where it's all happening, right here. Not anywhere else, right here. This is where it's happening. Thank you, Late. Thank you so much for the galaxy. What a blessing that is. You're all a blessing, man. Everybody out here on the show. Just give some new people some background about me, because there's always new people. Chesno, good to see you. I hope you're really doing well, man. Chesno, I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you, hoping you're healing really well and you're, getting on that spaceship. And hello, good to see you, Ann. Hope you're having a good evening. Everybody coming in here, please share and like. Please follow. If you're not following Encounters, follow us now. Press the follow button. Everyone, if you got a follow button and it says you're not following me, please follow me. Also, like. Let's get the tapping going. I want to do 50,000 likes tonight. We're going till 1 a.m., 11 to 1. That's 2 hours of Encounters, where anything possible can happen. Anything. I mean, we have guests from all over the world. They come in here from different countries. We don't know what country it is. We don't know whether it's in the Middle East. If you're having encounters or sightings in the Middle East, we want to know about it. If you're in Central South America and you're focused on all this stuff, we want to hear what's happening down there. If you're in Mexico, we want to hear what's happening there. If you're in Canada, here in the United States, in Asia, wherever you are, Africa, we want to know what's going on there. Jan, good to have you with us. Good evening. We are amped up. We had run out of cider, but we are back with more cider. This is what we drink, cider. I got to have cider on the show. So it's good to see everybody here. I haven't posted it here yet. I just saw the most amazing footage from India, from an area in the state of India where a sphere came down from the sky and actually landed in a muddy field. And when I looked at the video, which I found, which is relatively new, there are a bunch of people, Indian people, taking pictures of it and looking at it. And in terms of what I understand about the sphere, it landed into this field, and then a little bit later on, it moved to another place. It moved on its own to another location. It was an unmanned object. There was no physical, it was too small to be, it was probably bigger than a football. It was totally round, and it was actually very bright in terms of the metallic look of it. And I'll be sharing it here on TikTok. I just posted on my YouTube Astro Command Spaceship News channel. I found it earlier this evening. I do a lot of research. The commander does a lot of research on sightings all over the place. And this was one of the best things I've ever seen. I mean, this was an actual physical sphere. This was not CGI. This was somewhere in a state of India, in Parakesh, in the Galwa area of India. I'll post it on here later or tomorrow morning. And I think that's going to be FYP'd on TikTok because no one has this video on TikTok. This video is going to blow your mind. Rob, good evening. Sounds kind of like one of the orbs Chris Besho sees. It could be. It could be. You know, when you see this, it's going to really, it's going to really get you looking at it really well. UFO, UAP, Sky Scanner. Hello, how are you doing, brother? You know, I've been looking at your video again and again. I hope you have more sightings. If you get more visual sightings in your area, and they come in closer, when I watched your video, UFO, UAP, I think they're communicating with you. You know, they are definitely communicating with you, and you got a response from them. So keep it up. Use telepathy. Put your thoughts out to them. I bet you they'll come in a lot closer. So that was a really interesting video. More and more I kept examining your video. Thank you for sharing that with me. Patsy Hill, 810, welcome. Just Laura Lee, thanks for the likes. 3 times they gave responses. Yes, because they're communicating with you. You're communicating with them. Focus on centered meditation when you're out there, because I think they'll come back. I think now that you've gotten this communications UAP, they will come back. I can't wait to see some more video. I'm pretty sure you'll get it. One time we talked face to face. Interesting. Yes, we will on the thing here. I'd like to hear your story. Coast to coast. Yes, thanks you, George, man. I love that. Coast to coast with Commander around the world. I hope you're doing well, brother. Everybody out there, Ken Quick, everyone coming in here. Welcome to Encounters. Thank you for sharing our live with more than 10 people. People. Well, we are all people. Shauna, good to have you with us. All the new people coming in here. Michael Smith, Just Laura Lee, thanks for the likes. And thanks for the likes. Please share, everybody. I want to get up to 50,000 likes here tonight. We're doing good, Yvonne. How about you? I hope you're doing well. Debris66, welcome to our show. For all the new people, I'm a contactee from the 60s. I'm also host of WESU FM's Cosmic Eye Radio for 20 years on NPR Pacifica Radio out of Connecticut, worldwide and locally in the region in the Connecticut River Valley. And I'm also involved as a co-coordinator for Ashtar Command Contact Group here in Connecticut, where we do C5 activities. So I'm involved in a lot of things here. And we welcome all the new people that are learning about our show. G, thank you for the likes. Kip, welcome to our show, Kip. A lot of new people coming in here, finding the Encounters show late night. This is the number one for the new people coming in here. Believe it or not, this is really the number one UFO talk. This is really the only UFO talk show that's a talk show, and not just talking about getting on and spreading about, being some religious person saying, now that UFOs are really interesting, I must talk about UFOs on my religious program on TikTok. You know, it's amazing how many people get on the bandwagon. So my background's really news and broadcasting in the early period of my broadcast life, but I'm a contactee. So I meld everything together on this show. We interview people. So if you're not used to what we do, we interview people that have had encounters with ETs, with space people, star people. We've had people that have had UFO sightings all over the place. We've had people broadcast on here live with us, showing the sighting as it's happening. You won't see that anywhere else. They're showing the sighting as it happens. And we do C5s on here too. Mike Crouch, was anybody as disgusted that I was? I'm going to get into the NASA hearings tonight. We're going to talk about the NASA hearings. And we're going to talk about that committee of NASA this morning that had a hearing that was a big farce. And we're going to go right on to it. We're going to get right down to NASA tonight. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. And we'll have people come up here live, and you want to give your opinion about NASA, what you think. You can come on here and we can discuss NASA. the so-called UFO committee of NASA, the UAP committee, which is a farce. They had this big hearing. They had this big public meeting where people can speak to them and ask questions. And they are such liars, NASA. I hope there's some people in NASA tuning into this show, watching this show tonight. I'm sure NASA has TikTok. I'm sure some people in NASA have TikTok. So the commander is going to take NASA on tonight. You better believe it. This is the night where NASA is going to be taken on by the commander. And also, just to add another thing to my bio, I'm the man from Mars. So I came here to Earth from Mars, which NASA lies about. So we're really going to get into it. I am fired up, people. I was watching that thing this morning, and what a farce it was. Where was all the disclosure? Where was all the transparency with NASA, with their committee of people? And it was not only disappointing, it was a disgrace. NASA, just like the DOD, has lied for as long as they've been in existence. They have lied to the public about what they know regarding non-terrestrial intelligence. So we're going to get into it. And I welcome people to come on here and share what they think about the hearings, not the hearings, but what they said at NASA this morning at 10 a.m., which was a complete waste of time. Yeah, they continue to lie, Stacy. That's right. Unbelievable. And that's why disclosure is you. And when I say you, it's all of us. This TV show is disclosure. We'll get more information on this show about what's going on in space than we will from NASA. The truth is, we are going to get more information here than we're going to get from NASA. And that's the sad part of it. I have more information than they do. And we want so much truth and transparency. Now I don't even care about NASA. Because they're doing the same thing the Department of Defense did. I don't even care about them. I was wishful thinking that maybe they'd say something. But the fact is, my guests on here know more than NASA does. Many of you out there know more than they do. Can you believe it? You know more than they do. When you're having sightings out there in Arizona or wherever you are, and you're seeing spaceships and you're recording them, you're having something more of a disclosure than they'll ever give you. Because the ship is communicating with you. The people on the ship or the beings are communicating with people. I know many of you out here have had and told me you've had encounters. Why can't NASA just come out and show us what they know? They never will. I never trusted NASA. Maybe they are taking it a bit slow because they're scared of being called pseudo-scientific. They should not take it too slow, Aaron. I wish they would take it fast. I wish they'd get on the fast lane, and say, okay, we're not going to be like wishy-washy. We're going to take it fast. Fatal Hussein says, U.S. are working with Grays, and soon your government will plan an attack on their own. Yeah, NASA's about dollars. Ask Alexa how many spacecraft are in Saturn's ring. I think it said 82. Alexa actually said that. I can't get my Alexa app to say that. I'm going to have to ask her later. So let's amp it up, folks. I want everyone to follow my thing here. Follow each other, not just me, follow everybody else. And let's see what's happening here. And we will be getting to people's opinion, certainly want people's opinions about the NASA hearings or the public, the so-called farce of a public gathering. It was the worst thing I've ever watched in my life. I get more excited talking to people on here than watching what I watched this morning. And there were some people there involved in the UFO movement of the community of UFO or ufology that were asking questions. Jamie Foxx was there, the person that does documentaries. He was asking questions, but they never really got any answers. You see, that's the problem. There was no answers. You want to talk about disclosure? When you see this video I'm going to post here on my Ashtar Command Spaceship News page on TikTok from India, this sphere that people were looking at in the mud, which later on supposedly moved to another area by itself, that's going to blow you away. That's disclosure. You know, the things that I share here, the videos that I incorporate from all over the place, that's disclosure. What they're doing is a farce. Yeah, it's a waste of taxpayers' dollars. Why have a UFO or UAP committee of intelligent people investigating these things and not telling us the truth? Why'd you waste yourselves on a NASA on the morning this morning, come in public and saying, we're going to have a public announcement. We're going to acknowledge more things and talk about more things and take your questions. But we're not going to answer your questions. We'll take them, but we won't give you any answers. These so-called brilliant people that work for NASA. It's all a front, you see. They put a front together, 4 or 5 people with a director, and say, well, this is our committee, and we want to hear what you have to. We really do care about what you want to say at NASA. NASA really cares about you. I know you think we're hiding things, but we're not. That's why we formed this committee, so we can make it look like we're telling the truth. Right? We're going to make it look like we're telling the truth. When you get the chance, take a real hard look at the infamous Space Force picture. I'll have to take a look. Paul 347. Hey, I just had a sign-in. I think it was a rocket. Tristana, welcome to our show. This is Encounters. Jose Moto, welcome to Encounters, everybody. Anton, welcome to Encounters. This is the late night, most talked about UFO show on social media. You won't see it on CNN. Of course, they won't put it on there. NBC, Fox, CBS, CNN, CBS, BBC, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. It's so depressing, all the money the government just throws away. I can't even get this disability. All these so-called high-paying people in NASA on this committee ought to be thrown out of the loop. Enlightened Jess, like they are playing reverse psychology on everyone. Yeah. Paul 345, I just saw it 15 minutes ago. Goodbye, old friend. Talk to you later. Watch the Deja Vu, Fatal Hussein. Nada is truly spaced out. NASA was a joke. I'm reading your comments, folks. I love your comments. They're great. I'll have 3 people's comments here on Encounters. Kel Z, welcome to the show. This is Tim J says, we don't see much on CNN regardless, nor in any other network, to tell you the truth, Tim. I got a video of it. Interesting, Paul. So we're going to be doing interviews. The way this show works, if you're new to the show, hey, Angela. The way the show works, Judy M., welcome to the show. Frankie Romero, welcome to our show. Jordy. Stanley Taylor, welcome to Encounters, user 372. Lulu, welcome back. Okay, and good to have everybody here. Debbie Haychick, I think it is. We're going to be talking about NASA. That'll be the first part of the show here. If you wish to come on live and give me your analysis of what you saw this morning, which to me was a big joke, we'd love to hear your views on it. And you can just press the little icon at the bottom where it says guests. If you have over 300 followers, I'll be able to get you on the audio part of it. If you have over 1,000 followers, you can come on and also be on the screen as well. So if you want to be a guest now, we're going to invite people to be guests on Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. Lulu, thanks for the roses. Deborah, welcome to the show. Thank you for all the likes. Tammy Adams, welcome to Encounters. Acknowledging people. Sandy Gogai, welcome to our show. User 738, welcome. A lot of new people coming in here that I've never seen before, but we're glad to have you with us. David Hall, welcome to our show Encounters. And I'm just taking a look here. One day at a time. Thanks for the likes. One universal love. Good to have you with us. All the good people here. Lalia. It could have been a rocket. It could have been Paul, you know. They definitely want those things going on. Did you see all the videos I forwarded to you today? I haven't gone to them. Margaret Rushing, I'm going to have to take a look. I just have been I've been getting video footage here, and this one from India that is really going to blow your mind later when I put it on TikTok. I might even show it on the screen here. I might just show that as one of our premiere videos tonight on Encounters a little bit later. I'll show it to everybody. It will blow your mind when I show it to you. I can guarantee it. Not mine, just ones I saw on the net. Oh, okay. Please do. We will, Claire, definitely do that. You could see the afterburner. Yeah, it was probably a rocket. Maybe we could talk about it. Yeah, we could definitely do that, you know? And, matter of fact, I don't even have to get it set up. But I will definitely show you wherever the controls are. I will show you that video a little bit later on. Hopefully, down the rabbit hole, my co-host will be on tonight. I'm not sure where he is, but he's got to be somewhere. Probably doing something. But we will find out where the rabbit hole is. We have to find out if he's around. He's out here somewhere in the universe. I just sent him a message, so hopefully he will get it, unless he's busy doing something. I just invited him, Will. I just sent him an invite. Jimmy Q, welcome to our show. The big ball of fire in the sky yesterday. I don't know. I didn't see the big ball of fire yesterday. TX Girl 46, welcome. Mike Crouch, good to have you with us. Lily, welcome to Encounters. Shaman Poet, thanks for the likes. I'm trying to be very quick here. Maria Gonzalez, welcome to the show. Jess, welcome to the show. Hello, Heart Rose, SM Black Whites, Rights or something. Pat Tooley, welcome to the show. This is Encounters for all the new people. Welcome to Encounters, the late night UFO show with CmdrAleon, your host on WESUFM.org, NPR Pacific Radio, the Astro Command Radio Show, and contactee from the 60s. How do you like that? You're right. The complete cosmic package in one human form and a talk show host. So we're going to get into things here. So I really want to now talk about NASA. And if you want to be a guest, please do come on the show. We're going to start with that topic. You have to have 300 followers now or more. I can then get you on as a guest on my show with just the audio, but that's fine. So if you want to talk about NASA, what you got out of, if you watched the conference this morning, I'd like to hear what your perspectives are. Greg, welcome to our show, Greg, and all the new people coming in here. Laura Chicago. Laura's in Chicago. Good to have you with us. Okay, so we're going to get, I think we'll take Will on first. Judith, welcome to our show. Let me see who's here. We're going to bring Will on. It will be the NASA press conference.
How are you doing this evening, Commander?
We're fired up.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
absolutely. I mean, fired up today, to get the show started. Absolutely.
So
Always.
did you watch the hearing? I keep saying hearings, but did you watch the press conference with NASA?
I did. I thought it was completely dishonest. Just the stuff they said. Number one, they wouldn't name the director. That was the first part. They wouldn't name the person because they said apparently they got threats or something. They were getting threats apparently at NASA. That was the reason they didn't want to say who it was. Then they said they didn't want to say how much money they spent on the research team. That's another thing. And then the last part of it that I did not like is they said, oh, the people that are seeing these are seeing planes, balloons, and some other.
Yeah.
Whatever they said. That was the main 3 points that I saw. I mean, you can tell me what you saw. I mean, I'd say disappointing.
Well, that's one of the points. What I saw is they were evading answering questions from people in the audience who have been involved in the UFO subject matter for years.
I
And there
felt
were
like
those
it was
people.
scripted. But go ahead.
Say again?
I thought it was scripted. Like the questions were supposed to only be like that, or they maybe just had it written down before they started even talking. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was Jamie Foxx. He's done a lot of UFO documentaries. He was there, and he asked, I don't know what his question was. I didn't hear it. But, the thing is, if they really want to be truthful, which you're not going to be, it's nice to have this little NASA UFO UAP group of people. But when they start telling people that what they're seeing, or they can explain 90% of what everybody sees out there, they're
Of
lying
course,
to
it was
themselves and they're
scripted.
lying to the public.
Yeah, yeah. The comments are saying, of course, it was scripted. So they all know.
The whole
They
thing.
all saw what I did. See.
Yeah, no, it's definitely scripted. I was looking for something way more than what we got, which was nothing.
Yeah, a
You know,
nothing burger. That's what I
yeah,
call it.
it was
We
a
should
nothing
call
conference.
we should call it
NASA.
nothing NASA. Nothing NASA. Like, make a joke or something. So like every time you put like a NASA ship on there, put a burger on the side and say NASA
Yeah,
burger.
yeah, yeah. NASA was definitely not
Disappointing.
really, really a good thing.
But
And
if Stephen Greer was there, I feel like, and he was in the comments and he came up, he'd probably say, "Well, you're just giving me scripted answers. You're not answering the question I want to know. You're just blobbing out crap that I wish you would say, like,
it would have
call
been
him out."
interesting to have a Stephen Greer there to confront them, with a
Yes,
microphone.
yeah,
That would have
absolutely.
been interesting. Because that would have been a clash of one person who's really getting disclosure, and the other group, which is NASA, which is lying to the public and not telling anything regarding anything they're doing.
Absolutely.
When they have their space station feeds that are live from the space station, so
Yeah,
many times the space station camera has caught UFOs or spaceships, and then they cut the feed. As soon as it happens, they cut the feed. They don't want people to see it. So they're covering up what their own cameras are picking up on their live feeds, shooting into space the cameras. Multiple times it has been recorded that they've done this. How many people have seen NASA space station feeds live? They catch, and some people recorded it on YouTube, and you'll see them catching a UAP or with a UFO. I would just call them spaceship, and
yeah,
they catch it, and then they cut the transmission and say, well, we're having technical problems. Technical problems, my foot. You're
exactly.
doing is you're cutting off something that ground control in the NASA headquarters are saying, you guys keep the camera off. We cut the feed. That big object in front of you there, don't say anything about it. Don't even talk about it. We're not going to keep the feed on at all now. This thing's still in front of you. We'll have to wait till it disappears. Then that's what they would do at Mission Control. That's what they
Absolutely.
always do.
Yeah. Like even on the moon landing, if that was, because I know Buzz said that they saw something, but they turned off the feed, like they cut the feed off so
Yeah.
that you couldn't hear everything back
Well,
then.
that's what they do. They cut off the feed. Meowser, thank you so much for that. Oh, you gave Will, you got yourself a little gift there.
Oh, what was it?
I think it was a little gift of something.
I don't know if it was it a bird? I don't even know what it was. Well, whoever gave me
uh,
that gift, thank you for giving me that gift, but let me know what
yeah,
it was, because in the comments if you saw it,
and
because I didn't see it that quick.
we
Oh,
definitely will have multi-guest options here tonight. So if you'd like to come on, folks, and give your analysis of NASA, Francis Prairie, it's good to see you. Good evening, and all the new people. If you want, thank you for the heart. We appreciate the heart so much.
yeah,
I'd like
do
to
that.
get different perspectives.
Absolutely. If there's anyone
And
that
like
wants
I said,
to
if you have over
talk,
300 followers, you can come on here and join our multi. This is what a real press conference is out. This is what a press conference is like. I'm going to get a few people on here. We're going to have our own press conference here on
Let me go
Encounters.
on the studio real quick.
Okay, I think Anook is on here with us. And Anook, welcome to our show. Anyone else want to come on here and give? We'll do our own press
Yeah, I'm
conference
going
and
to
our
my
own analysis.
studio right now, guys, and then I'll put on the camera.
Okay, no problem. By the way, we're going to bring another person on here. Okay, and we're going to now when Cat's going to Mal, we're going to get different analysis of what happened today. We have Thor coming on here. We got Anook, Will's here. We're going to have some interesting discussion. We want to get our own analysis. You had to have watched this press conference this morning. So my audience here will give us some feedback as to what they thought regarding this morning's ridiculous gathering of NASA people. This is Encounters Late Night UFO Talk Show. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, host of the WESU radio show on NPR Pacific Radio, Sunday mornings. Contactee, the man from Mars, the whole caboodle. Welcome, everybody. Will, Anook is going to be on in a few minutes. And Thor, welcome to our show. So we'd like to get your opinion and analysis, Thor, of what you thought about the hearing, not the hearings. I keep saying hearings, the press conference that NASA put on this morning at 10.
And he's on mute. But yeah, but
He's
I know
on mute. Okay.
Anouk is going to do that. I've never met either of them, but they can tell us stories if they. I don't. You know them too.
And also, certainly, Shai, I think, is on here.
I
I
think
think
she is.
she's on here. Anook's here.
Hey, Anouk, welcome to the show.
How are you?
And we're also gonna bring in Shai because she is also in here somewhere. I believe I've been told she's here.
Is that
I
a
love it.
fedora?
I love
I
it
like the
when
hat.
I'm shy is on. I really she's got a
Well,
lot
we're
of.
gonna bring her in. We're bringing her in
There she
now,
is.
so I want to get her perspective. Shai. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I hope y'all are all having a good night.
Yeah, things are just getting amped up here. We were watching the NASA conference this morning, which I thought was a joke, but we were watching it.
Yeah. It was a and they act like they're so oblivious to this issue, and like they haven't had separate directors that all have been read in, and they don't have communication with the Department of Defense and don't know what's going on. It's just a
They don't
blatant
know what's
lie.
going on. They really don't
They're
know. They don't know anything. They know
they're
nothing.
liars. They're liars. They're going to say that they don't know anything, but they have thousands of 4K photos of these things that they have edited out. They've cut the International Space Station live feed hundreds of times now at this point whenever they see stuff. It's just a big giant joke to me. Our government's a
Yeah,
joke.
it is a joke, you know? And it's just one of those things that irked me so much. We have we find more information on this show. I was on another thing where I found a video from India of a seer that had crashed in a area in the state of India in one of the more countrified areas, and it shows in the feed they recorded it. The sphere crashed, and according to the report, people noticed that the thing was sitting there in the mud, and then it moves to another area by itself. It was like the size of bigger than a football, probably, but it was perfectly round, shiny. And then they said it started to move and it disappeared somewhere else, but it came down from the sky straight out. I thought that was interesting. And I haven't posted it here yet, but you'll see it when I get it posted later. I put it on my YouTube channel. It's there now, and I think I might show it here tonight.
I wanna say something, Commander, real quick, and then I have another engagement. But I want to say something to you that, and I want you to know that the Galactic Federation or the people that are observing your planet are very aware, and they're watching all of this unfold, and they know everything that's going on. And I want you to know that the community that is connected to it, and I know that because of your connection, you're aware of this too, that it is a joke. And the thing is, they really don't want to disclose anything. What they want to do is try to give you guys enough that you'll think, well, okay, they did something, but you guys aren't going to put up with that, and keep pushing forward. And know this, they are going to make themselves, your galactic family is going to make themselves more apparent. You're going to see more ships, you're going to see more things happening on your planet, because they're going to rally against what is being said. And I'm telling you, I'm shy. You watch. I'm telling you, Anook, that you're going to see so many ships and so many things you've never seen before. And the appearance, and I'm going to tell you something else that's coming very soon. You're going to start seeing different extraterrestrial family members actually landing, not on a White House or anything like that, would never do that, but in areas where people can see them. And you're going to see more of that kind of thing and more of the ships and more of them coming around, because they're going to show the people that they're being lied to, because it's important for everyone to know that they're here. And even though you're on this show and you're doing all of this, not everybody else is aware of that. And because not everybody watches your show, of course. So these other people, they're going to look into the sky, they're going to see these things and say, wait a minute, you're telling us you don't have a clue, but yet here they are everywhere. And so that's just what your galactic family members are going to do and help for all of you.
My thing with that is like,
Go ahead,
I think,
Armstrong.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I have bad
No,
internet
go ahead.
sometimes.
It's just your turn.
I'm scared that, the public, so us as everybody in this live, we all have that kind of cognitive ability to realize that there's something more, whether it be through objective analysis, spiritual belief, or whatever it may be. We all aren't closed-minded to that type of thing, but something we need to remember, that's not the public, The public would, in my opinion, if something like this happens, I'm scared that the public response would be like, oh, it's the government doing this, or it's a Project Bluebeam type situation. And then we're just moving backwards with this distrust of these extraterrestrials and super advanced beings. That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, I mean, I concur with that, Shai. I also think that even though you in your level, you're in the know a lot, and for me, my connection upstairs, which is direct for many years and is very accurate, I think we have billions of people on the planet to deal with, and they're not all aware of what's going on. Most of them don't even know what's going on. So how do we deal with that? And I understand, I would say I'm concerned. One, I'm afraid for them. I'm more concerned that how are we going to deal with that, and how is the larger public going to deal with this when it happens? Because it is true, there's more increased sightings all over the world, and it's not for just the fact that it's happening. There's reasons behind it that are in fact dealing with. We are getting to a point where there will be some interaction. And how are people, I'm with you. How are people going? How are we going to get people not to freak out when they see something and think it's something we're doing when it's nothing to do with our government? How are we gonna get those people kind of educated? I think it's going to be difficult because, we don't have a million people on here right now watching this and hearing this. So the question is, you're right. How do we get through that?
Well, I think that's a job for a sociologist that's a professional in that type of field. That's something that needs to be figured out, or it's going to turn into this aggressive human mannerism that we always have had. Our tendency to start and incite violence, go into war, stuff like that. And then we're going to do it with these things that have no hostile intentions. And it's just, I don't think it's going to be a productive experience if we don't get it handled in an adequate manner.
No, I think you're right. And the fact is, there are parts of what we call our militaristic in our governments of the world. There's parts of it, especially the United States, because this is where we live. There are parts of those in charge that would say, okay, here they come now. We know they're coming. Then a whole fleet of these ships from the stars come, and they're here for peaceful purposes. We start sending out our latest reverse technology in the air. We start sending out our, trying to shoot our latest missile technologies at the ships, these spacecraft. And then we start a situation by telling the people on national media, oh, this is what we told you about, folks. Remember, we told you they were coming, and they're the hostile ones. And then we start shooting at them. Now, again, I'm doing this hypothetical scenario, but it's not out of the realm of possibility of what you just said, because we have a population that's somewhat asleep. As much as there are more people interested in knowing about the whole subject of UAPs or UFOs, a lot of people are really asleep. Levick, thank you for the galaxy. Thank you so much.
Oh.
They are asleep. And how do we deal with that?
Well, and I guess this turns into a human nature issue. I feel like this is just, And again, what I've discussed, a lot of people don't have that cognitive ability to have that higher level of thinking, such as the people in this. Obviously there are some, but then there are some that are, hyper religious, for example, dedicated, to Islam or Christianity, whatever it may be, and they might not want to accept these things as another group of beings, but rather as, and I'm going to quote here, like fallen angels of some sort. Or something, that's more, I guess, not spiritual, but religious.
I think that's why we got to put it out there every show that they're Christ. What was it? Christ.
Well, that's interesting.
What were you saying? Like they're Christ. I forget what the word were. They're
Christ consciousness.
Yeah. And
well, that's what I talk about. That yes,
to accept them for who they are, and they're not hostile. That's our government that wants to be that way, and there are people that hopefully they don't have evil intentions, but we know there are people that do, and
our planet is sort of a microcosm of many different types of thoughts. There are people that would go out in a nanosecond and kill somebody that they don't even know just because they look different. That's the kind of planet we live on, unfortunately. At least not everyone's like that, but we do have many different types of human beings on this world, and some are really loving and want to embrace everybody, and there are other people that would just go out, and if they saw a space person come off a spaceship, they get their gun out and start shooting at them for no reason because they're afraid.
Correct. Unfortunately. But I think the more we get the message out that they're here to and I mean, we have 164 people here. I know this is going super fast. I mean, this disclosure, like we're almost there. I feel like we're getting more. I just wonder, hopefully they're like, there's crazy people out there that buy like grenade launchers and all kinds of weird guns off black market and all kinds of stuff. But my point is like, I don't know. I just hope I feel like they're coming faster than I thought. Don't you feel like that? There's more.
Yeah, barring NASA's joke of a press conference this morning, which really was a disgrace to the whole subject. Disclosure is going to happen with or without people in NASA playing their little scripted games. It's shows like this, unconditionally. Myself, I'm shy. All of us coming together. I'm shy, for those that don't know it, is in the Department of Defense. And when she's able to give us information, she comes right out and gives it to us. Stuff that the media doesn't even know about. This is real disclosure. We're the ones who are the ones that are talking about it. The people that come in here, and I really, really look at this over the years, even on my radio show for years. They're people that are having visual sightings of UAPs that are on here. People that have talked about having visitations with plasma beings. You wouldn't hear that at NASA. Oh, we heard some people, some NASA people said they met some plasma beings. They'll never talk about that.
No, they
won't. They'll never ever talk about it.
Down the rabbit hole was
we do.
In the woods. Sorry to interrupt you. Down the rabbit hole was in the wood. He had bad connection, but he'll come up later. I don't know.
Oh, good.
But I keep inviting John Connor, but he hasn't come yet. But I know he'll come when he wants to be on the show if he has.
Yeah, no, he's another one. But this is the whole point. Is my goal in media is my end of it is to bring disclosure by having people tell their stories, and I love stories, the stories that are real. People that have real experiences. And hopefully people get educated on this show from hearing other people's experiences. They can relate to it. People listening to my friend I'm Shy, who's in the government, coming forward and sharing top secret information. This show is so serious about what we do that's why we have the kinds of people on here that come here. They feel it's safe to speak here. No one's going to joke and laugh about anything. I wouldn't allow it anyway because of my background. But we have a quality program. We have people who have things they need to share. And we're going to have people come out of the closet and tell me about your stories. If you've been visited by ETs, obviously NASA doesn't want to hear about it or tell you about it, but you can come on here and tell us that you had encounters with some star people from the planet whatever, and we'll put you on here and you can talk about it. That's the beauty of this audience. You're all important to me and to disclosure and to what this show was created to do. So I'm going to turn it over to Shai, and that's just some of my 2 cents.
And and then you look at how they were responding to the questions, particularly, and I was watching the whole thing, particularly, James Fox. They sidetracked and didn't even give him answers to the questions that he wanted to, know. It was ridiculous. And then they treat everybody who asks about the UAP issue being non-terrestrial, and then they say they have no evidence to support it. And then they're going to sit there and pretend like they don't have 4K footage of these things, just like any other military installation in the U.S. government. And honestly, people need to have a zero tolerance for the government at this point in time. There should be, they've desecrated your trust. I mean, you shouldn't trust them. I mean, and hopefully everybody understands that. And they're making a joke out of us. These people at NASA or whatever, they want to assume that people that don't have clearance don't understand what's going on, and then they can just pretend it's going away. And which the Mexico hearing was something else. I've got a lot of opinions on that, but regardless, there's this such bad stigma, and it's really hurting the public. And I feel really bad. I feel really bad that we're stuck in this standstill where we can't get anything without these whistleblowers.
It's like we're in a quagmire right now. It's like being in a quicksand, and you're trying to get to the rope to get out of the quicksand. The other person wants to get out of it, another won't, but we're still stuck in the quicksand. We can't get out of that quicksand in order to do something else. That's where it's sort of a quagmire right now.
Where it happens every single day. We're in a loophole of negativity, and we need to get out of the low frequency and get up to, not us, not on this show. I'm just talking about in general. Humans need to get out of that low energy and accept Christ consciousness and accept these non-humans, and we can figure out live in peace with them. And maybe they definitely have high technology, and they're going to teach us a lot more stuff. And if they can get to us before the government gets too hostile again, and just it's terrible. But
go ahead.
Sorry,
go ahead. I'm going to get this video together. Hold on. Go ahead.
I got you. So and also, something interesting is that technology we're talking about, some of the stuff that would be revolutionary that these things could introduce to us have already been worked on, have been, advanced, perfected in the last 40 years. So you think of energy with hyper effective form of energy use or whatnot, just as an example.
Yeah.
And then you think, well, the government probably has it. That should be your logic for everything, at this point in time, because they have done milestones in terms of reverse engineering, R&D, not crazy, not super being able to utilize their metal or being able to recreate it, but utilizing aspects of that and understanding the technology is a whole different story.
No, it's so true. And when I show people this video, talk about disclosure, I have better stuff than NASA at their press conference has. And when I show you this video that I found, it's going to blow you away. I think it's in here. Yeah, it is.
I was just going to ask Shai. I know a lot of people keep talking about prophecy in the 23rd or 24th. I think that's propaganda, but I don't know if there's anything that will happen then. They don't know the dates. I feel like, I don't know, you were talking about that. I don't know, maybe it wasn't you, but people were talking about the sun getting hit by some kind of I don't know what it was, but I can't remember what was said. But it's just what I was just saying is I don't know if either of you have the feeling that it's gonna something like the ETs are coming before that. I mean, the extraterrestrials will be here on sometime this year in September 23rd or 4th.
I don't know about that. I've heard different things about that. I haven't really focused on it.
Yeah,
my guidance upstairs has not told me anything about that.
Okay, and you, Shai?
If it did, I'd tell you.
I wish. But honestly, I feel like this is going to be a random occurrence. Like whenever this stuff
Oh, a
starts
comet.
happening en masse.
Somebody said a comet. Is there a comet on the way or
A
something?
comet?
A
Not that
comet.
I know of.
Not that I know of either, but I mean, well, NASA wouldn't tell us anyway, right? You'd
Oh
think they
yeah,
would.
there could
They
be a
apparently
world-ending.
don't know anything about U, UABs, and they don't know that, oh, there's just weather balloons and airplanes and
Yeah.
whatever. That's baloney. Everybody can see right through their baloney. I mean, if you can't see that, but there's some people
Well,
that can't see through that.
I'm going to show you something now that's going to blow your minds. This is the video. Let me
Okay.
just set this up on Encounters here, and we'll show it to you. Get ready for this. Just to give you some idea, I don't have the written paper here for the narration. In the state of in India, they call it the state in Paradash, in a what we consider a province, an outside area, and this is a sphere that crashed into the ground, on the ground. Then reading all the information about it from India that was reported by somebody on the ground there, then it started to move and disappear and go somewhere else. I'm going to turn this on now, and I'm going to try to show it to you. Here, hold a minute. Can I get you'll see it in a minute. You see it right there. That came to the ground. That's the sphere right there. Watch this. They were videotaping it. It's in the mud.
Yeah.
It's probably as big as a football, a little bit bigger. And these people from this village were videotaping it. See if I can get it closer. I think it'll repeat itself again. There it is, right there. You see it? The thing came out of the sky and fell, landed right there.
Interesting.
Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to my camera here.
That's cool.
Back
That's
to
cool.
me. See if I can switch the camera, flip it up.
That's not a
I'm
soccer
right
ball.
here. So we're going to go
Sorry, it
back
looked
on
like a
my.
soccer ball to me, but maybe I'm just seeing the wrong. But it might be the lighting. I don't know from
Because
the
it's the
video.
lighting probably, but
Oh,
that was in India. That was just the other day, actually.
interesting.
This is the thing. I have more good video than NASA will ever show you. Well, let me turn my light on here. What's going on? Oh, it disappeared in the screen here. What's going on here?
It's fine.
Why am I not? I think I have to flip the
We can
camera here.
barely
Hold
see
a
your
minute.
face. Yeah, it's fine.
I've just
Now you're
disappeared.
back.
I'm back.
Yeah, we can
I'll be
see.
back in a moment.
Okay.
Keep talking, folks.
Okay.
I mean, I feel really bad for just people at this point in time. And then they appoint the new director of that group that's going to be taking charge on studying the issue or whatever. And the guy has heavy ties to people like Sean Kirkpatrick, who we know has
Yeah,
been purposefully misleading everybody, leading everybody on the wrong path. And so we're instilling all these people that have already degraded people. They're just going to see that the issue's being observed, and then when NASA comes out with another report in a year or two or whatever, months, and they say that they can't identify the cause of these or what they are, we're just going to be at the same loop situation where they're just avoiding the
yeah.
issue and acting like they know nothing. It's just a joke. It's a giant joke to me at this point. NASA is. I mean,
Yeah, it is. Well,
Same.
and then they
they've
say they're
been covered.
transparent.
They're not transparent, and plus they've been covering stuff up since the days of John F. Kennedy being president. When I was growing up as a kid, the whole thing they covered up stuff all the way back when, and it's just incredible how they can sit there with a straight face and try to act like they're really intelligent people with their degrees or whatever they are, and they're just lying. I mean, I just have to keep coming up with this lie that they keep creating. This morning was the worst thing. I had so many expectations to watch this, and it was totally not worth the time to sit there and watch that conference because they said nothing. Basically, they
You know,
absolutely said nothing to us, gave us no
the,
information.
100%. And then they preach being transparent the whole conference when they're not. And if they were transparent, they would release the footage of these things and then let people at least see them. Because, that's fallacy. If they're going to say they're transparent, then they need to be transparent. They just can't make those blanket claims and pretend like they're being transparent. Because they have a lot more data than they're letting on. And to sit there and say that they don't is an absolute lie. And one of these days, something is going to happen and our luck is going to run out. And these things that crash are going to happen in a major city, or they're going to see something. And, they've gotten very lucky with I'm going to tell you, with the location, a lot of these things. Sometimes you catch them, but then it's automatically just lost to the internet, made a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
But one of these days, their luck is going to run out and something's going to happen. Something's going to land in a city. We're going to see something's going to be over a building. And I mean, what they're going to do then, who knows?
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot to tell you that one thing that they were like, the whole thing about, they were worried, it seemed like, about UFOs or UABs being under the, or messing with our air trafficking or something, like air traffic, like that they're coming into our airspace or something, like they're around the airplanes that are flying in our airspace.
That's a huge issue right now. Yeah. Commercial aircraft are being put in jeopardy sometimes.
What if they hit a mistake,
And commercial airline is Shy and Will. A lot of those pilots are recording UAPs or UFOs, whatever you want to terminology is, or I'll say spaceship. They're recording because they are encountering them and they are coming pretty close. Either the UAPs or the beings inside those UAPs are observing commercial airliners, which could be possible. But they've had many close encounters, haven't they, with airlines over the decades? A lot more than we even know.
Oh, yeah. And he mentioned air traffic controllers. Even air traffic controllers have seen this. And just for an example, that somebody everybody knows, the Phoenix Lights. That was very, every air traffic controllers all over the place knew about that. Not just pilots. And then they tried to say that they were doing fighter jet tests, which is, fighter jets don't go vertical, 100, 700 feet in the air. It doesn't go like that. They don't go straight up. So, and they, and things have happened before. And, and people still somehow are not under the understanding that we are at this point in time where this should be way less stigmatized. We should be having scientific evaluation. We should lose the stigma, and we should start actually setting up sensors research in the public sphere of scientists and people that are devoted to actual scientific issues need to start investigating. So themselves can actually see this. And there's a lack of light in that part.
Yeah. I was saying to myself, someday maybe I'm Shy when things really get more open where you are as things progress and you get into that higher location. If it were ever possible, if you had any good UAP footage that's concealed within the DoD somewhere that you can get your hands on, we'd love to maybe have you give it to me and I'll put it on here because I don't want to, bust your cover. But you can send me the UAP video that they're hiding, and I'll put it on my Ashtar Spaceship News and show it on here. I'll put it on my YouTube channel too. Just some thoughts to the future. What do you think?
I try my best. I've got some stuff. I mean, I'm pretty tight-lipped. I've got a lot of stuff going on right now in terms of investigation.
You had some stuff you wanted to send me at some point. I remember.
Yeah, compiling and making sure I can't be tracked in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So when you do that, do it safely. So yeah. That's important. For folks that are just coming into the show, this is Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, the man from Mars. I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. You've heard about them. I've been involved with the Ashtar Command before there was any internet websites. So I'm the real deal. I have a direct telepathic communications. I channel nothing. I probably can talk to Ashtar when I need to, but I am in contact with Kadarmanka with a thing called the Sagittarian Council, and information he gives me is always very accurate. And I'll share stuff if he has something to say. I will have him bring forth that information. I'm also the host of WESU's talk show, The Cosmic Eye, Astro Command Radio, for about 20 years. And like I said, I am very dedicated on the radio side and also on my TV show here to disclosure. And so is Shai, who's our friend in the DoD, and also Will, and my friend James in Florida. He's got bad connections tonight where he is in South Florida, so I hope he's doing well and he's listening to the show, hopefully. So if you want to join us at some point, if you have any questions from Shai, me, or whatever, or Will, please throw the questions out to us, and we'll answer them as best we can.
I think MICAH has a question, but I'm not sure what he was.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. What's the question?
I'm not too sure what it was.
Please say, okay. Mika, ask you a question. Mika, are you there?
Oh,
go ahead, Mika. We're going to have Mika's question. You have a question, I think, right?
Yeah, he does, but I don't know if he has enough followers or she. Yeah, I don't know if he has enough.
Micah. I think it's Micah. Mika. I don't want to mess up the name. Go right ahead and ask your question here on Encounters. I think they will.
Can he come in the box or not? He has enough followers, right?
Let's see if he wants to come in here. Yeah, he does have enough followers. We're going to bring you up here as a guest. You can come on live and see if you have enough followers. Just come on live and ask your question of our guests. We're going to bring you on. Just accept the guest request, and we'll put you on here. And you can come on and ask your question, either me, if Shai, or what have you.
I think it's Mike. A-H.
Mike?
Is what Down is saying is Mike.
Okay. Well, I just invited them, so I don't know what's happening here. Let's see.
We'll see if.
And they're somewhere out there. You send them an invite. I'm hoping I can get them on here so they can ask their question.
Absolutely.
I asked my question.
Ask it again. We can't
ask it again.
Ask it again or come in the box. Either one, whatever.
I just invited you to come on live so you can ask it verbally. So come on live. We'd love to have you. You got enough. You got over 1,000 followers.
Talk about this UAB.
Okay. I don't need to come on live. Okay. I don't want to. Okay.
Okay. That's fine.
That's fine. So what was your question? Because I missed it.
I went to the chat. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
I don't want to. That's fine. What's the question? We're waiting to see what the question is. And hopefully we'll get the question so that it can be answered. And I'm not saying we didn't see the question. I just asked again. Well, if you're asking, it's not showing up. It's funny that you're asking the question, but it's not there.
We don't see anything.
But then you said I just asked again. So I'm not seeing it. I'm looking at the comments. I don't see the question here on Encounters. Yeah, no one's seeing your question. If you're asking it, either TikTok's censoring it or there's no question.
Yeah, I think Grace is right. I think he's messing with us, quite frankly.
He might be.
Yeah, well, in that case, we're not going to worry about that. So we're going to continue on. If anybody really has a question, okay, that's the end of that. I think that's.
I think it's a troll. That's what they're saying.
I think it's a troll too. So we're going to do this because I don't think they're here to ask a question. All right. So now for those that aren't trolls, we're going to continue on here on Encounters. I'm being filtered by Tim. Okay, here. If TikTok is filtering it, all he has to do is Now I think they were trolling our broadcast here, so I'm just going to forget about it. Wish them well. JDRZ, welcome to the show. And if anyone wants to come on live and ask questions of our guests or me or whatever, do you think NASA was stalling with today's release? Hippie Gypsy asking that question.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And if you read the which I read the full report, it's about 35 pages long. They even talk about their programs where they looked for extraterrestrial technosignatures and atmospheres and other things for data analysis, and then they don't give you a set answer. They said that each time they end it at this point, there's no reason to conclude that these UAP reports are extraterrestrial. It's not them denying that they've encountered these things, and they even talk about the programs they've had, looking for Dyson spheres, like the heat that would come off of them hypothetically, or other types of extraterrestrial or extrasolar technosignatures, or alien technology. And they even have programs right now that are ground-based and space-based that will determine what is in our solar system and see what's in our solar system a majority of the time.
Yeah. And, the fact is, they know there are UAPs, these people in NASA on this committee. Matter of fact, as I'm sitting here tonight, I'm saying to myself earlier this evening, I said, tomorrow, what I'm going to do on my day off, I'm going to get in touch with NASA and try to get somebody on the phone about what happened this morning and find out if there's anyone there willing to talk to me that knows what's going on. Because there's always got to be a different person that doesn't agree with these people are doing. That, just like in the DoD, you have people that want disclosure and people that don't. I'm sure in NASA there are real people behind these fake people that are in this committee that really know stuff and know what's going on. I would imagine there would be, right?
Yep, I would think so too.
There's got to be.
There has to be. Yeah, I agree. Have we had any pilots or anything on the show before that has disclosed information they've seen in their
from NASA?
And then not from NASA. I was just talking about flights or pilots that had come on, and Navy or all.
I haven't had any pilots on here yet, but I'd love to talk to some pilots, whether they be in the Air Force or commercial airline pilots. If you are an airline pilot and you're on TikTok and you've seen a spaceship or UAPs or UFOs, you're welcome to come on here and tell us what you've seen. Certainly.
Absolutely.
So it's really, when you think about all the dynamics that go into this, when I call NASA tomorrow, and I will, I'm going to find out. I'm going to get through to somebody. I'm not sure what's going to happen when I get on that phone, but I'm going to definitely get on the phone with somebody at NASA and see what I can get out of them,
Absolutely. But the only thing is, you can't, I know against the United States, of course, the one thing you can't do is record the conversation, but you can tell us about it, right?
I can't record the conversation, but I'll get somebody there who wants to disclose what NASA's doing. I'll find out. Hey, by the way, I'm a talk show host on a TV show. I'd like to talk to somebody at NASA that might be willing to come forward about what's really going on.
They can even come in this show.
Anchorman, do I think I can get through? The commander's crazy enough to do things like this. I've done some crazy things in my life when it comes to all this stuff, and I will do whatever I have to do in my own way verbally to get through to somebody. I'll schmooze them on the phone and we'll see what we can do. I'll let you know what happens too. Guaranteed. It'll be interesting. The thing is, if I don't do it, then we'll never know what can happen, right? But the commander is not afraid to do it. One time I called the NSA years ago and I was about UFOs. And I said, can I talk to somebody in your top secret department or something related to the UFO area? They said, what's your name and everything? I said, no, I just gave my first name. I said, you don't need to know all that. I said, I just want to talk to somebody in the NSA in the department that deals with UFOs. I actually called the NSA in Washington and did this many years ago. I was like toying around with the idea and I just went for it. Wow, I didn't care.
That's awesome.
Well, why should I be scared of doing it? They're paid by us taxpayers. Why did I call the NSA? That guy's being paid by our tax dollars, so I'm going to call the NSA. What do I care, right?
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah, I understand completely. We'd rather find the truth than be scared, and at least
let me put it this way: the commander is not afraid of any intelligence community out there.
No, I'm not.
But that's the problem. People need to stop being afraid of all these intelligence communities. These are just people that are paid big money to do what they do, whatever they do. And half of it, we don't even know what they do. So as long as, if everybody in the world would just step forward and not be afraid of their own intelligence communities that are covering up the whole thing with UFOs and say, we've had enough of you guys and gals who are playing this game with us. Now we want to know the truth. Things would change in like a nanosecond. But people like saying, I don't know if you should do that. No, don't think that way. Go for it. Go for the gusto.
I had
Do
a
it.
question. I really liked what you were talking about yesterday, about the cave that you were trying to find with the crystals, and there was one that
Yeah.
didn't have crystals. I thought that was super interesting, but you couldn't find it. And I feel like if you tried to find it nowadays, they probably have somebody that owns that property and it's cut off to the
No,
public.
nobody owns it. This is out in the woods. This is nobody's
Oh.
property. It's near a parkway system.
Mhm.
And we knew where we were going.
Was it in New York or
I
New
don't think
Jersey?
I might have heard the story. I don't think she
Go ahead.
did. Many years ago, had a group of about 20 people in our cosmic spiritual group. And what we did is we were told by a friend of mine who lives in Florida now that they were told by somebody that there were these, they're called stone chambers. They're ancient chambers in this part of Putnam County, New York. And there was one chamber next to the other one. One was a negative chamber, and the other chamber had crystals and faces on it that were very much a different vibrational pattern. And supposedly, if you went into the chamber, you'd be taken into another dimension, or like not a wormhole, but into another place. And so we were thinking, we were nutty enough to think we were going to do this. We probably would have went in. And one of the things we did is we said we have to have rope, because if we go through this thing in this chamber and we disappear, at least my logical thinking was I have a rope. I'll have the rope on the other side of wherever I am and I can go back. But that's just my brain thinking. I don't know if that actually in reality would work. But we did try to find this chamber, and we knew that I had the feeling that if we found it, we would have went into another Earth or another dimension. It was like a portal. So I wanted to share that story. I know I'm sure you probably didn't hear about it, but it was one of my interesting times in my life about 20 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an experience for sure. And that's super cool.
Yeah. So I
Was
told
it
people about that for the first time last night, and I've done some pretty cosmically crazy things in my life. So it's just the stories I can tell people. I probably read a book about it.
Commander?
But
Do you know if they were underground and you had to? It was a deep cave underground, or was it
it
just?
was underground. These caves,
Oh
these
wow.
stone chambers are on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Stone chambers, there's a lot of them in Putnam County. Homes that are there, that are built there, have stone chambers on their property. There are some stone chambers that are very active where people have seen spheres coming out of them, like balls of light.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a real history about stone chambers, and you'd have to study them in Putnam County, New York. They're very congested in that certain area of Putnam County, and a lot of also it's a county where there's a lot of UAP sightings over the years. There's a lot of things I can talk about regarding that part of Connecticut, New York State area, right on the border of Connecticut. It's pretty amazing.
All right, y'all. I'm probably gonna go to sleep, but this was awesome. So y'all have a good rest of your night.
I'm sure you take it easy. I know you have a lot of stuff on your plate, and as things progress, if you can, that those pictures or whatever those documents were, somehow figure out how you can get them to me and do it safely, and I'll be happy to get them.
Will do. Thank you so much, Commander.
All right, take care. Have a good night. All right. That was Amshai, our DoD contact,
Yeah.
and and Megan, you're not missing too much. This show is being recorded. We'll have the show on our YouTube channel, Ask Turkman Spaceship News, for those that have missed part of the show. You'll miss nothing. All my shows are recorded now. Also, we're putting it on Twitter, or it's called X. I'm putting them on there, on my Twitter feed, and or the X feed, or whatever. I can't get used to the X thing. And then on Facebook, the show's on there too.
Wow.
So we want to invite people to join us here. If you have any sighting reports, any encounters stories you want to share about ET relationships you're having, encounters, Michigan, good to have you with us in Michigan. That's a state where there's a lot of sightings. Michigan, Ohio, that whole area has a lot of sightings along the Great Lake areas, and which is pretty amazing. I happen to think in the Great Lake areas, and I really thought about this for a number of years, that there in the lake there's probably a base underneath the lake somewhere, or at least a portal that is opened up over that area, a cosmic portal where these ships are coming in, going out, and going into the lake. Deborah says, Commander, can you tell me the date of the last time Shai was on? I'd like to go listen. I never hear. If you go onto my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News, it's on. She's been on a couple of those, but all those shows are good. So if you want to get some past shows with her, you can go on my YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch those shows. She'll be on them. Yeah, UFOs at Lake Michigan portal. Yes, there's like a portal, definitely a triangular thing, just like the Bermuda Triangle. I believe there's a Great Lakes Triangle where these UAPs are coming in. Yeah, I know. Yeah, James, he was on here the other night, caused a dang monsoon in Arizona with his machine. His machine created a monsoon in Arizona. If anyone knows John Connor, he's like the Tesla of 2023, and I really do believe he did create the monsoon with his technology.
I do too. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he did. You know, I have never seen them. I want to. Tim, you will. You will actually get to. I recommend people take the time for $10 to download. If you have an Android phone, go on Google Play and download the Stephen Greer C5 app. That'll give you the protocol and it'll teach you how to have contact with our space people, the star people. If you have a iPhone, Apple Play or Apple whatever it is has a C5 app there as well. Mark says, I'm from Tucson, Arizona. Good to have you with us. Let me see if I can get my good friend UFO God on here and see if he can come up for a little bit and hang out with us. Let's see here. And UFO God is one of our friends here of Encounters, our TV talk show. And he's doing some great stuff, getting people educated about things they don't even know in terms of sightings, things happening out there in the world that I don't even know about. So we'll see if we can come on here. What did you say, Will?
Oh, did you hear about the somebody was what was it on the news recently? Somebody got caught in a cave and was injured and got out of the cave. I can't remember where it was. I think it was in.
Yeah, they went deep in a cave. They got stuck there. And let's welcome my friend UFO God. Welcome to Encounters, the late night UFO talk show.
Hey, what's up, Commander?
Good evening. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Long time no hear, buddy. But go ahead.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff going on with UFO stuff. You want to share some interesting stories that you've heard of?
Me or?
No, you. Yes, you.
Oh, yeah. So listen, with the Peru incident, you guys got to remember this. A lot of people are saying it's not true. They saying that the extraterrestrial skeletons are fake. And I believe that could be a possibility. We got to remember that our ancestors, relating to that subject, because it's really popular right now on TikTok, and I just wanted to let everybody know my opinion on it. But you got to remember, our ancestors were very creative with their hands. They did a lot of pottery. They built the pyramids. You know, they knew how to bond chemicals together and elements in order to build stuff. Those skeletons might have been real bone, but it could have been animals and bones degraded into like a powder and re-put together through like some type of bonding agent. And that's what that kind of looks like to me. It looks like they took real animal bone and disintegrated it into like a dust, just like they make tacos with maseca. You know, a lot of people make tacos with like, you know, the little corn powder. They'll mix it with some water and then you get your stable taco. I believe that's kind of what happened with them ETs, because they definitely look hand molded. They definitely look hand molded. Definitely.
Did you think that this credits the folks that were presenting this, Jamie Musan, who's well known?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You shouldn't stand behind something that when you tested it, it was 15,000 years old. You should have done a little more research. I think
Yeah.
they got excited and they just put it in front of the media without. I mean, I speak Spanish. I understand what they were saying. They're basically not saying much. They don't know
Yeah.
too much about it. There's not much evidence on it. Well, they did find some metal components inside the skeleton. They're not able to verify exactly what it is, but they did like an ultra scan where they could see inside of it. But my thing
Yeah.
is, they don't want to they don't want to break the alien to distract the structure of what they have already. That's where the real evidence is at. Let's break the skeleton. Since we have two of them, let's just break one open and see what these metallic objects are, and see if the metal's anything we have here on this planet. Now, if it's not, and they test it, then yes, those are real aliens. Let's just break one of them open and test the metals
Yeah.
inside of them. They don't
Now
want
I
to do
hear
that.
somebody told me, I can't remember where I heard this.
I never
They
thought of
say
that.
that they have found more than two. There's like multiples. And I said, who told me this? I heard this the other day and I don't remember who told me this, but there are multiples. If there are
Wow.
multiple bodies of these extraterrestrial
Yeah, but
skeletons,
they don't want to, they don't want to investigate further into these skeletons. They don't want to dissect them. And that's where the
yeah,
problem begins. You can't dissect something from the outside and say, yes, it's bone. It's pure bone and it's 1,000 years old. Listen, our ancestors, like I said, they were very creative. They could take the mold. They could mold stuff out of like bone dust and
yeah,
use stuff to bond it together. My thing is, let's take one of these ETs, let's break them open, and like I said, that metal component that's inside the ET's chest, let's see where that metal's from, how it was created, and see if any of those elements and bonding happens to be something we have here, and it's not from another planet
yeah,
or from the
yeah.
moon. We'll know
One of
for
the things they should
sure.
do, yeah, it's
Yeah,
like archaeologists should be taking this and, like you said, take one of the skeletons as an archaeologist, whatever they do, those that are truly into archaeology, and take a
exactly.
sample of that bone or whatever, and let's see what it's made of. Let's see what comes out of that, you know?
Give it to other labs. Let's verify exactly what we're really looking at. I mean, I'm not discrediting Mexico, but
No,
the
me
United
neither.
States
No.
is a place where everyone from all over the world lives here, and you got some of the best technological advancements, especially scientists. This would be the best place to do that, or give it to China, give it to somebody who could really research it with a little more technology.
I
Once
think they
again,
should
like
have left out the mummified remains. They should have focused on the UAPs because I don't think there
yeah,
was enough not knowledge. There wasn't enough looking into this thing and examining them before they did that. You know, the UAP footage from Mexico was phenomenal.
phenomenal.
This part of it was they should have just held off on that until they really did do the work and examine them. You
I
know?
think they got excited about it and they just wanted to provide it to the media. Now everyone's saying it's fake. For that reason, there wasn't proper, a proper analysis done. You
Right.
know,
And you know
I
what?
mean,
If it's
Well, let's
real,
wait.
go ahead,
I
Zach.
want to shed light on that, Commander. Hey guys, sorry about that.
Hey,
hello.
James, welcome.
Hey, James.
My co-host.
Hey, so yeah, so we have to ask ourselves, in the disclosure community, do we trust Dr. Giorgio? And like I told you, they've had these bodies since 2016. They've
16,
had
exactly.
hundreds of doctors testing it. They've got 12 of them. They've cracked them open. They've sliced
Oh,
them.
really?
They've diced them. Dr. Giorgio was on national news just yesterday saying he calling out all the scientists saying, come to Mexico, test these aliens, and let's get real disclosure out there. So if he is going on national news saying, send all your best scientists to test these bodies,
Mm-hmm.
then I gotta believe that if he's putting his name behind it, there's got to be a little, validity to it.
Really
That's a
to you. And
possibility, though.
he's
Yeah,
well known in
exactly.
Ancient Aliens on the TV show.
Yeah.
I love him, and I love the whole group of that show.
Yeah, he doesn't,
So
and he
he is
doesn't
putting
go
his
on Fox News and CNN and MSNBC calling out scientists by name. Hey, you need to come down to Mexico and test his body. Let's
Well,
cut the bull crap. Let's test the bodies.
But weren't there
Release it to the
fireballs?
public. They know.
Yeah.
But weren't there fireballs in the sky that they were showing, right, Commander? That they were showing fireballs in the sky too about that in
You mean
Mexico?
about the Mexico videos?
Yeah, there were fireballs.
Oh, there. I mean, I showed that video
I
the
don't know
other night
what
with a
event
compilation that
that
was
was.
released at that conference.
Yes, I don't know what year that was though, or if it was recently or not. Those
Yes,
fireballs.
now, some of those were a number of years back, but it was a compilation they did of some of the best UAP videos. Even the Mexican Air Force recorded on their jets. I mean, they recorded them. They have constant sightings in Mexico and over Mexico City, the whole region. Constantly, there's things going on there that you don't hear about in the United States media. You just don't.
Yeah.
You know, I agree with UFO God. They need to get everybody down there, test these bodies in public, release all of it. And if it's
Right.
fake, it's fake. But if it's real, we need,
Definitive
We
proof.
need to
because
know.
that just adds more to the ancient alien theories.
I
Right.
mean, put it like this: anybody that's looking for fame and they want to be a part of the history of finding an ET, you know how much money's behind that. They could write a book. They could say they're the ones that tested it. I believe that's what they're doing. I believe that these are not real extraterrestrials because, like I said, it could be disintegrated bone compounded back together in order to make structures. We were really good with our hands. Some of the carvings and scratches and messages they left on stones, it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable. So, our ancestors were capable of doing things we can't even do today. You would need a laser pen to do most of the stuff they did, and we still don't know how they did it. So, the creation of something like that could have been a possibility.
And the other thing is when we look at Egypt, the mummified mummies that have been wrapped around, the Egyptians had a way of taking an Egyptian god or whatever they want to call themselves, and when they pass or whatever, they put the wrappings around them into the mummy casket or whatever you want to call it,
Exactly.
and they were perfectly kept in perfect shape even till these days. The thing is, now we're looking at these two supposable ETs, and who am I to say? If they get out there, open them up, and just do the work and take some samples, that will end the discussion as to whether these are real, whether they were re-put together, and all that stuff. Because truly and honestly, none of us really know whether it's real or not, because we're not archaeologists, but we all have
Exactly.
opinions, of course.
I forgot to tell you my.
I'm not
Let's get
saying
in
it
there,
hurt. Exactly.
open it up, open them up.
I
You
I
know,
forgot
and
to tell you my story.
that right there, when he said about the how they had technology back then, and you talk about the mummification, that's where I look at him and I'm like, I need to see some real testing, because the mummification process, for only being 1,000 years old, wasn't that good if it was real.
I have a
Yeah.
question. I have something to tell you, and I totally forgot about this. Down in
Hmm.
Mexico in 2004, we were going down for a vacation there, and we actually went to. There was a water hole, and then I think it was in Cozumel. There's a pyramid, right? And it was built by the Mayans or whoever built it. I don't know, but I was drinking Pisto Listo, and if you've ever been to Mexico and you go there, I do remember the weirdest thing because the tour guide, the pyramid's off to the side, and there's a place in that down in the fields area, like below the pyramid, outside the pyramid, like by a tree, and if he'll start clapping his hands, right,
Hmm.
the tour guide, and the pyramid will make like a weird sound from inside the pyramid. You can literally hear it. Like it'll be clapping, and you'll hear his clapping, or you'll hear some kind of weird sound in the pyramid. And I saw it, and I was like, "What is this technology?" It was amazing. Have you ever
Hmm.
been?
Yeah,
No,
that's the
never.
reverberation area. They created that area so that when they would speak, it would have a reverberation sound, so like the speaker can talk to thousands of people at once.
Yep. And that was very interesting. I mean, that technology was
Yeah.
beyond like crazy.
I just want to
Awesome
let
though.
people know that just as we take a little commercial break or non-commercial break, because we don't have any commercials, this is Encounters, the late night UFO talk show. And as you see, our main three topics has become the topics of this time period: disclosure, your UFO sightings, and of course, your ET visitations. 168 people out here. While you're on here, I should have to mention, please press the follow button. Follow everybody out here. I'm about
Oh,
getting everyone following everybody communally out here and getting everybody lifted up. Not only do you follow everybody, but also I want to get up to 50,000 likes before 1 p.m. when we sign off. So we're at 22.7. Come on, everybody. If everyone taps that screen, we'll do it.
and
I
Deborah's
feel like I'm
correct.
at a pep rally for UFO disclosure. So let's
Don't
do it.
make me come
And
on and do a
and
dance for some
sorry.
cash.
And Deborah's correct. I just wanted to comment real quick. She said in the comment, it's the big one in Chinchonisa or Chinsa. I forgot how you say that, but
Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza.
that's the one I was at. And if you ever go there, that technology is amazing beyond my like it was just I was blown away by it, even though I was
Well,
really drunk. Good.
the pyramids over in Mexico, and this is documented. I mean, people don't know this, but I've studied this. There have been, cosmic events. I won't say paranormal, but
Right.
there have been things like beams of light coming either out of that pyramid. There's been documented photos. A lot of things happen around there that have to do. Those pyramids happen to be pyramids that were guided and given to the Aztec, the Mayans. No, actually, I think with the Aztec, by space people. They gave them the star knowledge, and the pyramids. I don't think were just built by the people of that culture that lived there. They were guided by some higher forces that were not from here. If you study that of any of the pyramids, there's a lot of galactic history in the foundation of how these things were built.
What are all pyramids found?
Yeah,
What's the foundation of all pyramids? What's the one thing that bonds them all together? Stone. Stone is a
Oh yeah,
battery.
stone all over the
Stone,
place.
stone. If you take a rock and you leave it under the sun, it captures the radiation of the sun. So they were using stone as a battery. These are
Yeah,
rechargeable facilities of structures that basically absorbed the energy from the sun, and whatever purpose they had behind it, I bet when they were activated, it was something to stand there, very magnificent to look at.
and also good evening to Linda, and good to have you from Ohio on Encounters. And not only that, UFO God. Not only are those batteries, but some of the pyramids are said to have had crystallized structures on top of them. There's supposedly in the Bermuda Triangle in the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, my cat's talking to me. You can hear her talking, but her name's Missy. You want to go on TV? No? Okay. But there are crystallized structures in these pyramids in the ocean that are where what used to be supposedly Atlantis, or at least part of the landmass, there are crystals still on these pyramids deep in the ocean, which I truly believe. Now, whether that can be found or not, but there are some researchers that have stated that these pyramids do exist.
Yeah. The rock and the crystal, they both function the same way. So I
Yeah,
could see why they're using the crystal and the rock. The crystal might have been used as like a solar panel to
yeah,
retrieve
yeah,
to retrieve energy. The stone is the battery that captures the lithium and keeps all the
yeah,
solar rays inside of it. It's
yeah.
all what is it called? Plasma energy. So a lot of people don't know this, but rocks absorb plasma energy inside of them, and that's what sits inside the rock, kind of like a battery with lithium inside of it. And the crystal might have been the solar panel.
Yeah, very interesting discussion we're having
Yeah.
here.
To
We
receive
get into
that
this, folks,
frequency.
here about
Yeah, yeah.
pyramids.
In order to
You
get
know,
the
Or they had John Connor's machine on top of them.
Yeah, John Connors, once he's on here, he's going to blow us away with some. He is an amazing. I call him the young Tesla.
UFO guy. Did you hear about this? Do you know this guy?
Say again. I repeat one more time.
Do you know John Connor?
I've heard of him, but I've never seen his videos.
Oh man, you're gonna love him.
Okay, man. Let me tell you what.
Deal.
You know me. I'm always gonna be skeptical about everybody, but this dude, he's legit. So he made this machine. He's like the newborn Tesla, straight up.
Oh wow.
So he's been building what he's calling his time machine. So who knows what the hell he's really got going on. But he's very good with crystal technology, and he's very good with mathematics, and he's like a natural savant. So anyways, he makes this machine. He fires it up the other night. He's in Arizona, and a monsoon cloud forms over his house.
Yes.
And not just his house, the whole area of Arizona was flooded. Monsoon, rain, weather like they never had before. And a friend of mine who isn't into the whole, paranormal UFO ET stuff posted a video about the monsoon, and I think they were like 15 miles away from this dude. So I gotta believe that whatever the hell he was messing with caused some mumbo jumbo juju in the sky.
Yeah.
And if he could do it, gosh dang, imagine what the government could do.
I think he tapped into some type of sacred technology. If you think about the word math, I always say meant to abuse to humans. But if you think of the word time travel, time equals what numbers? People that do mathematics, and if you said
you're talking exactly like John Connor talks.
Yeah, well, he was using traditional methods in order to put that together, and the only way we can learn these things is something that they don't teach us in the public school system. It's called forbidden knowledge. Our ancestors had that educational level of intelligence. We're never going to obtain it because we're still learning what they wrote on the walls. We still don't understand most of it. I believe that individual has tapped into something very spiritual, something very powerful. Like from
definitely
the light work he does with crystals will blow your mind.
The geometry that he did a couple weeks ago will blow your mind.
Yeah. So
Mystery Master, I know.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta recognize the chat. Mystery Master, I know Arizona gets flooded, but the coinky-dink of it is he fires on the machine and 45 seconds later the monsoon starts.
Over his house, too.
That's the coincidence of it. That's the whoa, this is kind of freaky.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right over his house, man. Right over his house.
Now, did he use a machine using electric charge? Maybe
I have no idea.
helium and nitrogen in the sky?
I think it was crystals.
He was actually building the machine. When he was on the other night, he was building the machine as he was on live. He's been
building it for like 17 years.
No, he was actually building it that night.
I think he's been working on it for years.
Something as simple as what we're talking about could change history. It could have us really flying in UFOs here shortly.
Yeah, his name is John Connor, one of our people in the audience. He's from Arizona. He is like a young Tesla.
I'm going to tell him, man. I'm going to tell bro, you better stop messing with this stuff, man. You're going to rip a damn portal right through Phoenix, Arizona.
I'll be right back. My cat's meowing like crazy.
When he opens that first portal, you let me know, because I'm tired of being here.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. He's got to watch it.
Hey, I'm going to walk through that portal with a margarita in my hand and say, bye-bye, world. I'm out.
I always said that when we have contact with the ETs, the first thing we got to do is just sit down and have a pizza with them. and just be like, I'm so sorry that our government has been acting crazy and the leaders have been acting crazy, but we're all cool. We're all right. We love you.
Exactly.
And let's persecute them now.
Exactly. They're possibly respecting a no contact order. Understand? They understand that we're
Yeah,
being governed. They understand that we're being governed by someone, and they respect that. They don't want to
yeah,
interfere with
well,
us. But if it was, if there was a possibility that the government wasn't involved with them, I think they would have a lot of communication with us. And I think that's there's a barrier between us and them, and I believe it's the government.
yeah,
I believe
exactly.
he's that wall, that does not allow them to do that. They're dying to talk to us. I've seen UFOs. I've come within 3 feet of touching a UFO. I've seen real deal extraterrestrials before. I know
Yep.
they're in existence. My thing is, why me? Why did I create my channel? I don't even know why I'm on this live. It was all hype. It was just something I went through, and I proceeded forward with it. I was scared to start my channel. I didn't want to put my voice on worldwide social media for the world to
Right.
know who UFO God was. I was scared. But I'm here
That's good
today, and I
stuff.
can tell you that whatever we're dealing with, there's something definitely flying out there that nobody knows what it is. I'm sure the government knows. Everybody thinks the government knows fully about extraterrestrials, but he
Yeah,
doesn't.
you know what? I was gonna
Yeah.
say you just missed our DOD contact. She was
Yeah,
on
we
right
missed our
before you
DoD
joined.
contact.
Yeah, the Department of Defense, they only know about 20% about what UFOs are and
Yeah,
what
that's
their
what she
purpose
was
is.
saying.
Yeah, they don't know too much. A lot of people want to believe that ships crash and they retrieve alien bodies, and then right there and then people start believing there's a tie. Aliens and humans, there's a tie. The government's hiding
Well,
something.
that's what
Yeah.
Shai does is she actually works in UFO retrieval. That's
Wow.
what
Yeah,
she does. She's the one that sends the coordinates to the land troops, and
She's important.
yeah,
she said
Yeah.
that the land troops that recover the UFOs are not affiliated with any government agency.
that's right.
She
What?
has no idea. She has no idea, and she's high clearance,
And she's
and
going in higher.
she has no idea who these guys are.
Yeah,
I would love to meet her.
you will. She comes on.
Yeah, she's a
She's a,
satellite imager, and she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, she's saw a craft off the coast of Australia that was 5 miles long,
yeah,
Oh
two
man.
yep,
miles wide in the ocean, and said
yeah,
that other crafts were docking on it.
Wow.
yep. She. Let me explain something. She's our direct contact on the
And she's a
show,
whistleblower.
whistleblower on our show, and
Really?
yeah, she's a whistleblower. And there are people in such high security clearance areas that are beyond anything she even knows. There's so many levels that it would blow your mind. The government knows. When I say the government knows, the lower echelon of our government knows nothing. The high security clearance in all these agencies, they're decompartmentalized and they know everything. I mean, they know a
Right.
lot more than we think.
A UFO guy, put it to you like this: there was a mass coordinated event that happened a few weeks ago
Yeah.
where our contact had to report to the Secretary of Defense.
Defense.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and it was serious because she said it was the first time that our government had coordinated with Russia and China because we were all having simultaneous UFO events happening over very high military bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Matter
Wow.
of fact,
Yep, that was
these
3 weeks
these
ago.
craft, and
Wow.
like James is saying, these craft were coordinated in a fleet of craft that were going over military bases and shutting things down with their technology. They were shutting it down.
And it was now she's been doing this for years. It was the first time she'd seen this type of craft, and our contacts tell us that it was the first time that these entities came to Earth, and they came like a military. They came in coordinated, and they were jumping from city to city. She said they traveled from Tokyo to Mumbai in 3 seconds, from
Yep.
Mumbai to Australia, Australia to Hawaii, Hawaii to California, all across our country in
Wow.
coordinated patterns, and it was wild.
It
She
was
also
between It was between 2.3 and 3 seconds per city, including the
Oh.
squadron of these extraterrestrial ships went over Russia. They went in public areas, New York City, 2.2 to 3
Iran.
seconds, Tokyo, They were everywhere.
And one of them possibly might have gotten shot down over North California.
Yeah,
Something
that's the thing
tells
that
me,
bothers
sitting here on this live, I was thinking about something. You guys said a ship that was miles wide. Let me tell you what I think. I think that UFOs and ships that are coming here, they're reducing their size. Not for us, but could you imagine a ship the size of Venus flying by the Earth, stopping the sun from shining on the
Right.
planet, even for 10 seconds? It would put us out of commission and destroy the environment like you guys don't even know. So
Right.
I believe that they're cloaking and they're also reducing their size.
Oh,
And
sure. Listen,
if the
she
ocean was the
confirmed
perfect place to demonstrate its size.
that the government has
Yeah, yeah,
confirmed that these are multi-dimensional entities. She's
Yeah,
confirmed like these portals,
yep.
and what you said that they morph their sizes at
yeah,
will.
they can do that.
Yeah, because I had a guy on my live. He said he was abducted back in 1982. That's a year
Yeah,
before I was born. But
yeah,
he said upon the abduction, when he was inside the ship, when he saw it from the outside and it was elevating his body into the craft, he said it was as big as a caravan. But when he was inside of it, it was as big as a Walmart. And then he
yeah,
said there were different
Oh,
facilities. There was different sections. There was a lab. There was a place with plants. There was a computer generated office. One raising cattle, different departments and different things he didn't recognize. And he said a lot of it, he couldn't tell what it was. He was just looking at technology. And I remember him telling me that there was a light on the ship, but there were no light bulbs. He couldn't tell where the light was coming from.
yeah.
Just an amazing story. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that UFOs were doing that, but it makes a lot of sense that if a UFO the size of another planet came here, it would totally just cover the whole sky and
Well,
create
this,
problems.
the thing James said about before in our contact on the DOD, they physically monitored off the Pacific coast of California a 5 mile long spaceship. Can you imagine how many space people are in that ship? That
Wow.
5 mile ship, and they know they're now our
Yeah.
naval intelligence has a lot of knowledge about underwater UFOs or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
But 5 miles and other craft attaching to the ship were smaller craft. They
Yeah.
know they're here. I mean, they're
and
absolutely here.
That's their home.
she
That's
said
probably where
that
they
there's a
reside.
craft inside of Jupiter that they've been monitoring for 30 years.
You want to repeat that, James? You were muffled a little bit.
That Shai said that there's the craft in Jupiter that we've been monitoring for 30 years.
Yeah, there's a spaceship, and we've
These
been monitoring it
And
for 30 years.
we have 27 interstellar satellites with UFO technology.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that extraterrestrials don't live on a planet. I don't think they stay on their planet for long. I don't even think they come from a planet. They just come from a place of existence. I believe that their ships are home, because they're consistently traveling, biologically studying different planets. So, it's always a work day for them.
She
Um,
said they have tracking from planets. Like they know what
they
planets
come
these
from
things are
planets. There
coming
are
from.
yeah.
planets, just like we have a planet Earth. They all have planetary homes, but they also are intergalactic travelers. They're way
Yeah,
ahead of us
They may
and
technology
have
wise.
a place of
interdimensional.
existence.
Interdimensional,
Exactly.
yeah.
Interdimensional, a place of existence. That's right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy,
But
Yeah.
man.
there's
And
difference.
speaking of crazy,
There's some ETs that can't go interdimensional.
yeah. Speaking of crazy, it's getting near 1 o'clock on the East Coast, and I think all three of us are on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'm in
But
Orlando, Florida.
yeah, I'm up here in beautiful New England, waiting for that hurricane
Yeah,
to
me
go
and
off.
UFO God are gonna get together sometime because we're close to each other.
Yeah,
Most
you're
definitely.
really
I already
close.
like you, dude. Yep.
So I don't want to end the show, but it's getting close, and I need to get some sleep while I'm still awake.
Yeah. Very
You know what I
important.
mean?
Yeah.
Good
So I
night,
want everyone to
everybody.
get some sleep while they're still awake. I want to thank everybody for being here. UFO God, thanks for coming on, man.
Anytime.
Definitely we love you, and we love James, our co-host. We love
Yep.
everybody out there. Please share and like. Also, send us some gifts before we go. It takes a lot of work to do this show, and what I'm doing here, not just this, I'm going to do some other things on TikTok that are unrelated to this. I do Christed healing things, which I have not done much here because this is a UFO show, but I will do some morning things on the weekend where I will do stuff with my crystals in the space room, and look forward to some of that stuff happening outside of this. We love you all. Let's see some last minute gifting, whatever. Let's have a little gift fun here. Get all the gifts going. Thank you, everyone, for being here. UF God, I'll let you go, man. And have a good night up there or down
Thank
there
you.
or
Have a good
whatever.
night. All right.
You too. All right, folks. And we're coming to the closing of another night of encounters here on TikTok. Thank you for all your gifts, all your support. Please follow and like. Everybody follow each other. We have 165 people. If you don't know the other person, everybody follow everybody. We're about uplifting everybody here, you know. The one thing the Commander does is we're a very inclusive TV show. Thank you so much. Thank you for the good night there. Who gave me that one? That's a really cool one. Late Freight, thank you. Anybody else want to give any gifts? I'm not telling you what kind of gifts to give, so give me anything you want right now. Let's have an explosion of gifts. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what happens. I just like watching the gifts coming on the screen. It's so interesting. I know someone's going to pop a big gift up there on the screen. It might be some big underwater spaceship or something. I don't know. D-Rock, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the new universe. Chris, we appreciate it, Chris. Chris is an archaeologist down in New Jersey. Thank you for being here. Late Freight, thank you for the pizza. You know, I might have to have some of that this weekend. And thank you for everyone liking and loving and coming together here. I hope you've learned a few things. This show is recorded. Tomorrow, we'll be putting it on X, which is my Twitter account. I'm putting it on our YouTube channel and on Facebook. So this will be on all 3 social medias. Melody, I think it's Mellow. Thank you for the golden trumpet. The pizza, thank you for the pizza. Take care, UFO God. Could we get one person out of 133 people? Also, go to my CmdrAleon 2022 page, which is up here. You see that up here? Press that and go to my link for Venmo. So I've not had some Cash App donations in a long time. So please, if God has gifted you with enough funds, go to my Venmo right now under CmdrAleon 2022. Press the link and donate whatever you want, but do it tonight. Okay? Our goal is to raise enough money for night vision equipment that we'll be able to hook up our cell phones to. And actually, as we do our CE5 events, we can show you through night vision what we're seeing. Okay? And in general, please show your support here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you very much, Myra and Juan. I know you will. Whenever that happens, but just keep well, everybody. Take care. And you've been watching Encounters, the late night UFO talk show.